Alright, in the bottom left spawning as the red Zerg player. Playing for team AGO. It is Elazer. And in the bottom right spawning as the blue Terran player playing for team Liquid and team Melem. It will be Clem. I think Melem is the stupid polar bear, by the way. I asked him about it.
No. Mlem's the sound an animal makes when licking.
He told me it's the polar bear.
Yeah, it's the sound it makes when it licks.
Oh, okay.
And I think the polar bear is named, but that's the definition. And then maybe they named the polar bear Mlem. I don't know, man. Kids have they have so much energy. They're making up names for animals and things. I've got no idea.
Clem told me it's the name of the polar bear. No cap. Very lit. And then I was like, all right, I understood 2 of those words. And those were polar and bear. So I was like, I think I know what this means now. It's unbelievable, these guys, man. No respect for their elders. No respect for their elders, Wardy. We made the scene. And he just comes in here and starts using words like mlem. It's unbelievable.
How dare you?
How dare you? Yeah,
unbelievable.
Look at this. Look at the SCV. Look at the SCV. No one micros their SCV, and it triggers me so much. If he walks the Reaper through the zone as well, I think we're allowed to pause the game and award the win to Elazer.
I don't think we can. I don't think we're referees.
It doesn't matter. We can, Wardy.
We can.
Look at the Reaper. Look at the Reaper. Oh,
I'm watching it. I know it's not right.
I actually wonder if it's faster. No way.
It actually is. It might be because you gotta go all the way up and down again.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Because the Reaper comes from the main, I think it might be.
It's hard. We should do some tests. I doubt that Clem did some tests. He was busy making up new words that don't exist. As we have the Reaper, he's gonna kill a Ling, doesn't he? His Reaper control is so solid. Oh, he's gonna get... Yeah, okay, 1. If he would have gotten a second one, that would have been disastrous. Please, cancel the sport. Thank you. It's always very sad to me when you see the 230 spore. Sometimes you have it when you're checking the match history of something. You see a spore crawler go down at 220. You're like, huh? What is this build order? And it's like, I know this build order.
That build used to be a thing in ZVZ when they used to spore crawler on like Purity and Industry. You know, when Overlords flew across the map. Go on. Ooh, us. What we're oohing at.
What are we... Sorry?
You went ooh, and then you just didn't tell me what we're oohing at.
Oh, sometimes I just make noises like mlem. It's the sound I make when I lick my microphone, Wardy.
It's the sound you make. You lick your mic. You can't even make an ooh sound when you're licking.
Proving you wrong. Alright, Wardy, this build order is going down. Can you just explain people what's going on the screen? You have 2 cars going across the map here. Reaper is out as well. And then we see a very fast second barracks coming out here for Clem's gonna get a very high marine count rapidly. This is of course played off a triple command center opener as well. And what do these 2 Hellions actually achieve, Wardy?
They keep the creep back a bit. They keep Elazer from moving across the map with Lings.
Some scouting, obviously, as well. And don't forget that when finally Clem wants to move out with the 2 medevacts, he's going to have some Hellions at home to defend his 3rd base mineral line. So 4 Lings won't be able to kill 3 mules and 2 SCVs. So it's slightly later timing with your double medevac move out, but it's actually just a superior build. The 2 Hellion into what is basically a 2 Rex from a 3cc. So I really like this build. Clem really likes this build as well, by the way. He plays it a crap ton. I think something like 30 to 40% of his games, he actually plays this build. I'm not sure how safe it is, but I mean, you get a lot of Marines, so it feels pretty safe. Clem is very active always with his first 2 Hellions and with his Reaper, so scouting will be on point as well. If these 2 Lings will end up going down. And no scouting for Elazer here. He'll need to sacrifice an Overlord if he wants to get some additional information. But Elazer, of course, infamous for never scouting, so we'll see what he does.
I think it is a pretty safe build because as long as you're scouting, you have the ability to adjust in a lot of ways if you need to, right? You can make more Hellions if you need to. You can put the factory onto a tech lab or keep it on a tech lab. Build a tank if you want to, right? So the risky part is just the lower Hellion count, and maybe that can do pretty badly if like a big counterattack comes. Medevacs fly through the slow zone. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm just getting triggered. At some point, I'll need to step away from the computer, Wardy. So if you hear like a smacking noise, that's my headset that hits the floor. You see a good scan here, killing 3 creep tumors, 1 active one. Elazer will need to get some creep back over there. What's the fourth base you pick here as a Zerg? It has to be the forward one, no?
Do you think the forward base? Because I think you take the gold a lot of the time, Zerg, still. Like, gold? I know it's like... Yeah, I've seen this a lot. They try and take the gold and hold that. I know it's tough to hold, but that's what they try and do sometimes. Or the top left, which is the one Elazer takes here. I don't think you take the forward base because it's just so easy to push as a Terran. It's like a Terran's, wet dream, really, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, you're right. Reminds me a bit of Purity, actually. The setup, like the cliffs and everything. Just seems very... This map seems really good for Terran, actually. I wonder what is a better map, Blackburn or Oxide for Zerg players. I guess Elazer thinks Blackburn is better for him and probably vetoed Oxide. You have these Marines rotating towards the top right now. 7 mutas are on the way for Elazer. Elazer has a very healthy looking drone count, by the way. 74 workers before Mutalisk. Didn't start his 1-1 upgrades yet, but will start. Yeah, there we go. Evo Chamber goes down right now. And with these 11 Mutalisk out, he will be able to... He really has 2 decisions, right? He can either clean up this Marine force with Lynx and Mutalisk, or he can go across the map and try to do some damage. We see no turrets in the main base, we see no turrets in the third base, and no turrets in the natural base. So, what do you think Elazer is going to do? Well, we already have your answer. He keeps his Mutalisk with his Lynx for now.
Yep, just going to use them to try and push these medevacs back, which is going to happen right now as reinforcements show up from Clem, which generally means Elazer needs to disengage. And it does. As Clem comes pushing, I mean, the good thing about this map for Zerg, at least, is if you do take these 4 bases, is Clem doesn't have an easy 4th to push right away. So this push right now isn't really aiming at anything, and this is kind of a push forward, I feel, from Elazer, which wasn't necessary. Maybe he's trying to protect a bit of creep, sure, but I feel like you didn't really need to dive off creep there, because now you've lost a couple of your banelings already, and now there's no banelings left, and these Marines are just going crazy.
Yeah, this is not quite it here for Elazer. There's no banelings left. Like you mentioned, 3 tanks, 2 in the front, 1 in the front, 2 in the back. Baneling speed has not finished yet, 1-1 not done yet either, and Clem's micro is just a little bit too good for things like this Elazer. This might work against the worst Terran, but this is possibly the best TVZ player in the world as Clem takes game number 1 here on Blackburn.
You can't have no bane speed and no upgrades, right? Like, that's just not meant to be a thing.
Yeah, sure. No, this is not meant to be a thing already. That's definitely true. You're once again completely right.
Sometimes it's hard to be wrong when you just say what's on the screen, mate.
Yeah, definitely true. What's the second map? Do you know already, Wardy? Did you write it down? Did you write it down?
No, they didn't. They viewed it in private.
You should have asked them. For
production. I don't like to disrupt the players.
You should ask them. Excuse me, the production would like to know.
Oh yeah, the production.
Message him from a second account called Wardy Production. Just for asking them what videos.
Plug my laptop in. Just Wardy Production. Wardy P. What's the P stand for? Production. How can the production just need to be in the game? Well, it's not the observer, is it, idiots?
Yeah. Just the production. Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it. It's none of your business. I'm actually kind of curious what they're gonna do then. Like, with the maps. Romanticide. I know Clem doesn't like Romanticide very much, but also means there's 2 maps that he likes even less than Romanticide, because you get 2 vetoes each. We're still in best of 3 territory, no? Is there actually ever best of 3? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. The bracket is bananas, by the way. Cyril managed to 2-1 Soul as well. Wow, nice.
First map Soul took off Cyril in 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, in official events.
Sick. All right.
Yeah, no, I wanted to ask you about this. How much do you hate the fact that there's like 6 qualifiers and 1 person qualifies each time?
I know. I think it's pretty cool, no?
I think it's amazing from a viewer's perspective, but I thought as a player you might hate it.
I mean, I'd rather have it like 3 qualifiers, but I mean, like, I don't mind if there is a big prize pool and everyone wants to play in EPT points, that you make the qualifier process a little bit longer. You know, the 4 qualifiers. And I like that there's no invites for once. I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's actually good.
Yeah, I hate it when there's invites. It's so stupid.
When it's like, you invite like 8 people and it's like you're fighting for like 2 qualification spots in Europe. I'm with you. Yeah.
Because most of the time it's still going to be the guys that get invited, but at least give us a chance to steal their illegal luck points by taking a map.
I mean, it hypes the event up as well if these guys play in the qualifiers, right? This is actually what I was excited about, because not only do you actually have people like Cyril having to play in the qualifiers, but you actually are going to have to get Cyril to play against like some of the guys that compete Cyril too, right? Like, Clem.
You're going to see one of the top three times, you know? Which is, we never see that. Usually we only see the top 8 compete once. So yeah, it's beautiful. No, I really do like the setup of this event.
Okay, cool. So, I'm glad you're on board with it, because I've been hyping it up all week because I think it's crazy, right? Like there's going to be so many good games and everything. I've been hyped about it, so just thought you're the first player I've been able to talk to, because
Oh, everyone else hates it though.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm sure, but you're the voice of the players now.
The voice of the representative.
Organizers. Yeah. I'm going to tell them the players.
They love it more. We want 12 qualifiers. You need to win
Actually,
points.
You only get half the qualification if you win.
You need to win points, and based on the points, and if you don't play all qualifiers, all your points will be void. Very nice. This is great. Good system there. Okay. All right. In the bottom right, spawning as the red Zerg player playing for Team AGO. It will be Elazer. And at top left, spawning as the blue Terran player playing for Team Liquid, it obviously is Clem, who I honestly can't remember the last time he proxied a Rex across the map, He just doesn't do it, does he?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's just one of these things where now if he pulls it out at like some semifinals against Cero or Raynor, they're gonna be real surprised. And the thing is, it's his thing, Like his micro is bananas with the Marines. Like his target fire is sick. His stutter step is really, really good. Like, I don't understand why he doesn't want to do it. I guess if you win every single game anyway, like, why take a risk, right? But, I don't know. It feels like there's something... That's one of the things he's still missing in his toolbox of strategies.
It's one of those things that you've always seen the top Terran players do, because it is so powerful to mix it, right? All the top Terrans in Korea, for a long time, always with 2 racks, and adding that into their series. It was... It's good for good reason. It's a good build. Oftentimes it's safe enough to transition out of as well, even if it doesn't go perfectly well for you.
There's color in the shadow of the Overlord.
What?
The shadow of the Overlord is partly pink.
That's because the map's pink.
No. It's a different color than the rest of the shadow. Maybe just my graphic settings.
But is it like in the middle between the Overlord's head and its leg kind of thing?
No, it's where I don't even know what this is. Like the things that hang.
Yeah.
These are pink. You can't have pink shadow.
Well, you can have a shadow over pink stuff, no?
Okay, but this shadow moved pink everywhere he went, and the rest of the Overlord is completely shadow-like, like just dark.
Oh, okay. I mean, that doesn't sound right. No, don't disagree.
Maybe we have different graphic settings, but on my graphic settings, this looks very odd. This is the first time I saw such a huge error from the Blizzard graphic design team. Ridiculous.
Yeah, unreal, really.
Yeah, this is the next thing they should fix.
Just add it to the list. They'll get around.
Add it to the list. They'll get it. All right, what do we see? Oh, two gas. We don't see this a lot from Clem. 2 gas before 3rd CC. It's going to be going into Banshee. Yeah, it's Banshee, right?
Pretty much has. The only other thing this could be is if he wants to go for his Hellion Liberator faster stim, but he's got so many Marines early.
It has to be. But no, it's Hellbat then.
Hellbat Marine, you think? Yeah, I mean, Hellbat would make sense, I guess. But then he's also delayed Hellion production initially, right?
Yeah. I don't know, Wardi. I just know that when I see a lot of Marines, usually it's Hellbats.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Medevac makes the most sense given the situation. He's going to get supply blocks. He cancels the Marine, builds the Medevac instead. Yeah, I guess you add on armor and you go for like a Marine Hellbat attack. But again, so you're going to have maybe less... Oh, he's going to go for Fusion Core. Okay, well, we were just completely wrong. We had no idea what was in the brain of Clem here.
I think it's a misclick. It's supposed to be an armory.
Think?
No, but if he canceled this last second, then I wasn't joking. You know what I'm saying? It was just a little meme, unless I'm right. Because
unless you just say it nonchalantly and then you bring it back, be like, "See, I told you so."
Yeah.
One time in 10, that it turns out to be okay.
Exactly, that's how you do it, Wardi. I'm very confused here. I love that Elazer absolutely is not respecting this for no reason. He just skipped the Baneling Nest for a very long time.
Yeah, I know.
He played... Did he? He actually had no clue. He didn't even know he was playing against just double CC, not triple CC. This is actually ridiculous.
I mean, you see it now. There's obviously Marines dropping into your main base, a Queen initially in some trouble. He does start up spores, because you've obviously got to be kind of afraid of what's going to follow up from this as well. And, yeah, I mean, we'll see, I suppose. First BC on the way. Spore on the main base probably ends up getting cancelled here, which is obviously nice, because then got to rebuild that at some stage, otherwise the BC is going to rule this main base.
Yeah, there's a couple of Queens protecting the third base, but there's no links there, so these Hellions not gonna poke in, gonna try to rotate towards the top side. The 8 Marines in the main base. I'm not quite sure how they stayed alive for this long, and he actually hasn't lost a single one. It felt like there was plenty of links for quite some time. Now, Battle Cruiser is close to being halfway done. We see 2 extra barracks on the way as well. There's no fort base yet, and Elazer is actually slightly supply blocked, which is annoying. He's gonna lose a couple of creep tumors that were designed to make the defense of his fourth base a little bit easier. But for now, Elazer stays alive. Do we like his position?
No, because the BC is going to teleport in the main. He's going to have to pull a lot of Queens to deal with it, and that's when the Hellions can maybe make another jump on the front, I think, is going to be perhaps what happens, because it's not like he has a ton of Lings either to go and fight the Hellions, especially if these Marines stay active and they go with the Hellions.
Yes.
He's about to have Hellbats too, by the way. Like, he's going to morph in Hellbats, so this is terrifying. BC's actually just going to teleport in at the front, so he's just going to start killing Queens out over here, and yeah, I mean... This is quite the attack, Harstem.
This is quite the attack. It's very low SCV though. There is a Baneling Nest. We have 8 Banelings on the way, 14 more Lings on the way as well. Spore tries to burrow forward, just gets killed instead. Another Queen goes down right here, right now. Battlecruiser is dishing out so much damage already. Has 3 kills, and all of those are Queens, I believe. Now there's 8 Banelings though, and that should help Elazer out a lot.
Wow, good splits from the Hellbats though, and now the Marines maybe drop back down. They're going to go into the natural expansion, in fact, so that's where they will go. Good defense in the end. Wow, that was... I actually feel like Clem had more potential to not commit at the front for the Queens, and instead to, like, start dealing damage with the BC in, like, the main base a little faster or so. Anyways, these Marines are still dealing damage. I mean, it wasn't a bad trade from Clem at all. His resources lost is fantastic in comparison to Elazer, so he might have been low SCV count, but he definitely made up for it.
Yeah, he had some good trades there. There's quite some money still in the bank for Elazer, though. And Elazer has a very healthy drone count. The problem we're kind of getting into right now is that... Well, actually, 1-1 is pretty timely. I was going to say his upgrades relate, but he already had Evo Chambers. I guess he's just going to play Lingbane into Hydra. Yeah, he has to. 81 workers, though. If he can defend his fort base from the next push without taking any major damage... Oh my god.
These Marines have done way more than they ever should have done. Like, they've been around since the start of the game, right? And they've just been killing so much. Now they get 11 drones, and that's just a kick in the teeth that Elazer couldn't really afford.
It's actually crazy how much HP the medevac still has as well. Like, that guy been flying into the danger zone for a very long time. And usually the danger zone is not a zone where you want to be if you're a medevac, because you really have no tools to fight back. You got a boost and it doesn't even hurt anyone. Just makes you go quick. Do you have a couple of mines here? 4 to be exact. There's no combat shield yet with this push. This should do absolutely nothing. Is there oh, there's no Banelings. He forgot Baneling speed.
Well, that ain't pretty either. I mean, he just barely has any army supply to begin with. Let's see if Elazer can muster up a defense here somehow, Clem. I mean, I feel like the one thing that can go wrong for Clem is his own Widow Mines blow up his army. Like, it feels like that's how this maybe goes. He actually targeted the Widow Mine there onto a Hydra. It didn't go off. Was just making sure it wasn't going to do friendly fire either. This one does go off and catch a few Marines. But for now, that's going to be him having to back it up. It feels like Clem's army's kind of small for how much army supply he has. I guess he's got a BC eating up some of that. A lot of it's in the medevacs. He's just got reinforcements at home as well.
Yeah, and his army also just looked kind of pathetic. Without combat shield, no 1-1. I mean, yeah, there were no Banelings. Like, none. 0. He's still not getting Bane speed. This has to be an error, right?
Yeah, there's no way you play without Bane speed. Bling Hydra is just not a composition.
Really. Saving 150 for the faster hive. Yeah, there's no way. Oh yeah, there we go. Baneling speed starts, carapace starts as well. And we have +1 range starting right now. So we'll be going into lurkers soon. There's no banelings at all. There's no baneling speed. But there is 90 drones. The problem of the drone is that they don't tend to trade too well against stim marines and mines. So I think Elazer needs to become a little bit creative in how he wants to deal with his army.
Yeah, Marines pulling back a little bit. Ling Hydra maybe thinking about running forward. Well, it's still a little tough. His BC has just been annoying as well, by the way. Stopping mining on that right side base. It can obviously jump around a couple places still. There's no anti-air on this natural expansion, so if it moves in there, he could have a good time as well. As I feel like Clem is also, you know, a moment away from killing like a ton of overlords that would just supply a laser for days, or just killing all the Hydras. The Overseer is the MVP, actually doing some damage to this Terran army via Widow Mines. Meanwhile, everything else was just dying.
Yeah, literally. It's crazy. He's built 11 banelings so far this game, and 8 were to defend the initial push. He's had 3 banelings to deal with this entire... And he's still trading okay, by the way. Like, it's not awful. Like, okay, well, he's not trading okay, but he's like... It's good enough. He stays alive for now. Now a tank shows up, and fort base is done already for Clem. Clem's income is looking healthy. The creep is very small, so I still think that Clem is in a pretty decent position here, and I wouldn't even be surprised if he gets a kill, because still no banelings. Finally, the banelings show up. The tank goes down. Oh my god. Elazer's actually going to push it back one more time. Oh!
This Widow Mine? How did it get to reburrow there? That's incredible. The Overseer went down as well. Okay, well, yeah, that's just wild. Clem's going to come on through, and a couple of Banes are going to get target fired down, and now this is starting to look like it might be a bit too much. The thing is now, right, you've got this tank support as well, so it's going to deal damage unless a laser gets through to clean it up, so it forces the fight a bit better, and a few Marauders helping Clem to tank a little more as well, maybe, just aiding these Marines, keeping them alive a little longer. And it looks as though Clem has finally just battered his way through to take enough of an advantage and maybe close this out. I mean, Hydras are dropping. Hydras are expensive units. They are not easily replaced.
Yeah, they're very difficult to replace, very expensive. There's also no money left for Elazer. Does he have any larvae? 6 larvae, but no queens. Even if he pushes this back, his production is going to suffer so much. A couple of decent mine shots. Medevacts are completely empty, by the way. Clem is just rallying across the map, and at some point Elazer needs to give up, and that point is right here, right now, as Clem takes the series 2-0.